But first, reporter Caitlin Bible took a look at local voter turnout in Athens. Caitlin, is it true that turnout's a little lower than normal?
Well, Emily, this year's primary is slightly different from the last primary election. That's because President Obama is the only Democratic candidate on the ticket. And with an incumbent president on the ballot, voter turnout is likely to be cut in half.
Voters at the Board of Elections office in downtown Athens were few and far between this morning. As expected, the turnout has been light throughout the day. With President Obama as the only candidate on the Democratic ballot, voter activity is very different than the last primary election.
Last presidential preference primary back in 2008, we were pleasantly surprised with about a 50% turnout. That was the largest turnout I've ever seen in a presidential preference primary. But you know, you didn't have an incumbent president, so you had the Democrats having their primary that wasn't yet figured out, and the Republicans. So there was a lot of activity that year.
The Board of Elections is hoping for at least a 20% voter turnout today. Voters and candidates are also closely watching to see if presidential hopeful Newt Gingrich can win his home state of Georgia.
Democrats may be voting in the Republican primary today in support of Newt Gingrich. You know, they'd like to see him run against Obama. Also, since Newt Gingrich is from Georgia, he'll probably do well in Clark County.
The UGA College Republicans are also awaiting the results of today's primary election. The group won't back a specific candidate until the general election. However, UGA College Republican Representative Bria Cruteau says Newt Gingrich has a lot of home state support.
A lot of students on the College Republicans are supporters of Newt because he is from Georgia and he is, you know, the hometown candidate and very conservative.
Typically, Clark County is known to vote more liberally in elections than the rest of Georgia. Athens Clark County Election Supervisor Gail Schrader told me earlier today that Athens is a blue dot among a sea of red.
However, as you reported, Gingrich, a Republican candidate, is expected to do well. When can we find out how well he's actually going to do?
Well, Emily, the results will be posted online as soon as the voting precincts close and report their numbers. You can find out more at athensclarkcounty.com/elections.